Navy SEALs are masters at lying to themselves. It is a superpower. The tools that these Navy SEALs gave us to make it through the training that they put us through is all about taking this huge, painful thing and making it small in your mind. 4 a.m. is when they kicked us out of bed. Matt didn't know. I knew. Right? And so first thing, we immediately, get in the plank position. They put some water on us and just mess with our minds. You notice that, especially Matt, he's joking a lot and he's messing around a bit, right? This guy asked us here, like, hey, do you want to quit now or you want to quit later? Because quitting now is going to be a lot easier because we're going to make you quit. And then Matt is like...
It's a rhetorical question, right?
Like, and here's the thing. I'm not that cocky. As time goes on, they start to break us. And we get into the spot where we're just like, why did I do this? This sucks. Everything's painful. And during an especially rough spot, one of the SEALs told me, you're making this way harder than it needs to be. Because they can tell when someone is going into this tunnel of pain, when they get into the head. When, you can see this especially on my face right now, like I'm just like in it. But they can basically tell when someone's about to quit because they go inward. They go into the pain tunnel, which you can see me in pretty soon. Like, and that's why I get stoic, right? I'm just like in it. And so what he said is basically the key difference between a quitter and those who make it is that the quitters, they suck into themselves. They just get into the head, and they just focus on the pain and the suffering. Whereas the top performers are the ones who crack jokes, who say, you know what a beautiful day at the beach. Like, it's been hours since we've trained. This is the first day out of 3 days. And they said, you know what, the best people that they've done Hell Week with are the ones who, you covered in mud at 3 a.m. It's the 4th day, you haven't slept. Everyone's in pain, and somebody makes an inappropriate jokes and makes everyone laugh. And so what he said is basically the first tool is just positivity. It's just no matter what you're going through, you find a delusional level of positivity that makes you go, I love this. This is fun. This is a beautiful Sunday at the beach. But yeah, we always hear like, okay, be positive. But like when Navy SEALs use it to make it through the toughest training, there's something to it. Like the moment you feel sorry for yourself, there's literally only one benefit, which is you get pity.
So you think they're more, what makes them different than other army or military is the fact that their mental fortitude is a lot stronger than the other ones.
Yeah. So these guys, both a bit shorter than me. So then you would think Navy SEALs are like these 6'4" tanks that are like super strong. They're the first ones to tell you that they have a lot of athletes, football players or whatever, do their training, they don't make it. Because they think it's about strength, but the entire training is designed to break you down, get you to the breaking point, and then push past it. So there's no like, oh, like he made it and it was a breeze for him. No, like if you're physically making it, do 1,000 burpees. Oh, you can do 1,000? Actually, never mind, do 3,000.
They see where your point is, and then they try to push you past, but for mental, not like obviously physical.
Yeah, or emotional.
Emotional,
say, right?
Yeah, your emotional bandwidth.
Yeah. Like one of the things they kept saying was like, stop feeling sorry for yourself. You're just making it harder for yourself. And when I think about this in real life, pushing ourselves to do things, I make it so much harder for myself when I feel sorry for myself. When I'm like, this sucks. I don't want to do this. We're about to have to file taxes again. I don't want to fucking do this. But just going, you know what? Let me just switch on the delusional positivity part of my brain and be like, I love paying taxes. I love filing taxes because like it just feels good.
They're delusionally positive, where it's like it's a shitty situation, but it's like I can be mad or I can put my energy into positivity and I can push through this.
And it literally becomes easier. Like physically, like everything becomes easier. Like you're just making it harder on yourself by feeling sorry for yourself. The only benefit you can get is pity. The second one I thought was really interesting because I see it in a lot of successful entrepreneurs, and it makes a massive like undertaking or goal seem like a piece of cake. Day 2, they basically had us running up and down mountains and also swimming. Now listen, I hate swimming.
I would die.
And they would have us tread water. Like this is me in the beginning. I'm already struggling, right? We had to like hold on to like something behind our backs. So it didn't tie us up, but we had to tread water. And, we're like 9 minutes in, I'm struggling because I'm not very buoyant. I sink like a rock. Those guys, they basically told us, you know what? you're going to go for 25 minutes. And I'm struggling at minute 9.
I would die, bro.
The lesson that they told us here, the second way to like build mental toughness, is setting micro goals. So when they tell you you have 25 more minutes to go, in your head, you lie to yourself again, and you go, just 1 more minute. And so you basically trick your brain into believing only a little bit more. Like, I think we all heard of entrepreneurs who said, man, had I known how tough this business was from the beginning, I wouldn't have started it, right? I think it's like this delusional optimism that entrepreneurs have when they start something that gets them going. And I think this is what you can tap into whenever you want to just do it and push yourself to do something. Just set a micro goal. This was fascinating too. So Matt physically couldn't do the push-ups. Physically couldn't do it. Also because he's kind of hyping it up in his mind. Like, this is only day 2. We have day 3. Day 3 is going to be the most challenging day. I can't do it anymore. Like, you can see him physically struggling. This is such an epic moment in the video where he goes, it doesn't matter how fit you are, it's a choice. Like, he literally struggles to do the push-ups. And then he just, spoiler alert, he just bangs them out. Like, he couldn't do it physically. But again, like, I think we just do this to our minds. When we have this big task in front of us, this big, like, I have to do an ice bath for 3 minutes. I have to run this marathon. I have to go to the gym this many times a week. If you set it into micro goals, all of a sudden, your brain goes, you know what? The cost isn't that high. Again, looking at the calculations between cost and reward, if you just lower the perceived cost of something, it's much easier to just do it. Last one, I think you're going to hate this one. They did a lot to mess with our minds. And so this is where they put us into an ice bath. And they're like, okay, you're going to be in this ice bath for 25 minutes.
25 minutes?
Yeah, so it didn't start out cold. They put ice bags in it then, and it's cooled down over time. This is where he also says, by the way, by the end of today, we're going to make one of you quit. Only one of you will make it. Then they go, you know what? Hold your breath for as long as you can in the ice bath. I do 9 seconds. And then he says, you're not getting out of the ice bath until you do 18 seconds. I'm like, dude, I could barely do 9.
You're barely breathing right now.
Yeah. And the more time goes on, the colder I get, the more difficult it gets for me to hold my breath. For Matt, it was a breeze. It was really easy for him to hold his breath. He did 14 seconds, right?
Okay.
But he's like, you're not leaving here until you do 18 seconds.
Look at your face.
Yeah. I'm just like, the video's over.
This is like,
I'm gonna be the one who's quitting.
Have you ever seen that song, Hello Darkness, My Old Friend? That's like literally right there. If I had my phone, I'd just do it. That's what your face says right now.
Yeah, that's literally what I felt. But this is where you got to catch yourself, right? And use one of these tools. Setting micro goals, I don't know. I could be positive here and be like, you know what? I love ice baths. I love this. This is exactly how I want to spend my free time. They gave me another tool. They said, you know what? Just so you know, Leon, it is impossible to drown yourself. It's physically impossible for you to drown yourself because there's a part of your brain that'll kick in that just, it'll make you get up. And just because your body starts jerking doesn't mean you have to come up. So I would literally be underwater and start like compulsively like jerking where like my body wanted to come up, but I'm just like, no, stay under. And you can see it happen, right? This is where the third tool comes in, which is visualization. Just visualize yourself making it so that you prove to your mind, hey, look, we can do it. We've already done it. You trick your mind into thinking, okay, this is what it would look like if I made it. And yet again, it increases the likelihood of it increases the perceived likelihood of your brain that it achieves it and therefore lowers the cost, right? Because it's very difficult to do something challenging when you think it's not going to work.
Yeah. Like
you need to have a delusional level of confidence, and I think visualization creates that. It's like, look, mind, we've already done it, right? And yeah, long story short, I got to 14 seconds, and then 17 seconds.
Almost had it.
Yeah. And they said, you know what, we have to move on. I watched back the footage later on, and I, saw what was being filmed, and they literally like standing there like, oh, wow, he did it again. Oh, wow, 24 seconds. We're going to tell him 17 seconds. So I did it for 24 seconds.
Oh, but why is it 17 seconds? Oh, they stopped it?
Yeah. So I actually made it. You see that? I'm like,
You're crying.
you see that? I'm like jerking. So I made it for 24 seconds, and he's like, and Matt is like, that was definitely more than 18 seconds. He's like, no, that was not it. And it was tough, man. But like experiencing that really expanded my mind on how much we can do just mentally to get ourselves to do things that seem impossible. The most challenging thing is when you don't know if something's going to end. Like think about this in your own life. When you're going through a tough time, you don't know when it's going to end. That's the most challenging part. If you put into solitary confinement, somebody puts you in a dark room, and you don't know when they're going to let you out. Could be in 3 days, could be in 3 years. You go crazy. But when I did a darkness retreat and it's 7 days, I know what day it is. I can roughly estimate it. Like I know I'm going to be fine in 7 days, but not knowing is what messes most with your mind. And
Okay.
I think, so even think about this in your own life. Like when you're going through a tough time or you're going through a challenging month in your business, just knowing where the end is, just having a plan in place and being like, okay, as long as we get to this point, we'll be good. It's going to make it so much easier on yourself. And so, yeah, those are the tools to get yourself to just do it, increase your willpower, grow your MCC, and live a better life.
Yeah.